Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Laymen Daily Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, Gollum, man. Just when we thought that Redfall was a clear winner for the worst game of the year, Gollum was like, how dare you? I've got something to show you. The reviews have come in and it hasn't been good. I've got a lot of stuff to do today, okay? We've got the reviews. We're going to go through some of the Gollum reviews. We've got some other news, reviews, and discussions. I've got a Diablo trailer that was released. And we're going to finish with the second part of the video game quiz. Whoever was here the other day, we did 10 questions. We're going to do the next 10 questions, okay? A really big show. Let's get into it. There's a lot to cover. Appreciate everyone being here. Let's get into it. All right. How's everyone in the chat? Hey? Yesterday, we did watch the PlayStation Showcase. It was 600 days before the last one. I will say it wasn't that great. Like, we saw some cool stuff, right? Like, we saw Spider-Man. We saw, of course, the announcement of Snake Eater, of also the trilogy, the HD remake, the remaster. We saw some cool stuff, right? But today is not about that. Today is about Gollum. Let me tell you the tale about Gollum, okay? Gollum is a twisted creature. And he is, just when we thought he was twisted, we didn't know the reviews would also be twisted. That's all I got for you today. That's the only effect I have. I thought I'd throw it in. Apart from, you know, some crappy little, this too. I got this. Got this. Got this. That's all I got today. In terms of effects, guys, I'm all affected out. Guys, it's been pretty bad in terms of the reviews. Now, I thought Redfall was going to be the one that was going to be hitting us with the worst reviews of the year. Got 56 on Metacritic. It was a total disaster. Okay, we all know that. It was quite the meme. Absolutely. It was good to cover it, talk about it, talk about the reviews, but I thought that was going to take the mantle. It was going to take the crown, okay? Fall Guys, they were falling the hardest, right? But we were wrong, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like Lord of the Rings Gollum is now the worst review game of the year with 38 on Metacritic. Now, that has changed. Now, it has become 40 on here and 43 on the PC version. But man, whoo! Didn't I tell you? Like, didn't I tell you when I was watching this stuff, I'm like, this looks like shit. Well, I didn't say it looks like shit, okay? I was like, this does not look good. And it didn't really look that good, right? It looked like a PS2 game. It looked like it just felt janky. Well, it looked janky. The entire idea just didn't look like it was fully executed. And the reviews are saying that's actually the case. Now, let's watch a few reviews today, okay? Let's watch a couple of reviews. We won't watch the whole thing. We'll watch the opening remarks and the closing remarks. Some of them will just watch the closing remarks. Look at this fucking shill. All right, who's this loser? Why are we watching Skill Up?
Father's Day is nearly here, so give your dad, and your mum, I guess, the gift of a tidy downstairs thanks to Manscaped. Your dad will join the 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the family jewels. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code SKILLUP at manscaped.com.
Let me just tell you, what a fucking shill, okay? Laymen would never do a Manscaped, you know, sponsorship. Speaking of that, Manscaped, if you're watching, hit me up. Let's get to the part where he said, okay, here.
Expectation of quality and content, and let me tell you right now, Gollum does not come within a Middle-earth mile of meeting any of those expectations.
Oof.
What really tipped me over the edge, though, were the deluxe edition upgrades for this, aka the Precious Edition. If you give this publisher another $10, you get Sindarin voiceover for the elves. Otherwise, they just speak Westron. I've never heard of a game paywalling lore-accurate dialogue, but okay.
I mean, can you imagine a game that's mid-tier or even lower, right? It's in the solid 40 range of Metacritic, and they're going to try and charge you to hear what people sound like in Lord of the Rings for a Lord of the Rings game, and charge you more for it. Crazy.
That $10 also gets you a lore compendium, which is literally a menu of lore entries, like every other game just has, without charging you for it. This is how it's formatted. it looks like placeholder. When you click on lore items, you haven't unlocked yet. Nothing happens. When you click on items you have unlocked, it's this weird scrolling text at the bottom only, leaving the space at the top
Gollum
unused.
is a strange
It's also
creature.
written very amateurishly, full of grammatical errors and very odd wording choices. Like, listen to this. Having betrayed his old and noble family in Ithilien, the Candleman has been in Sauron's service for a long time. Nevertheless, he still remembers a life with his family, sometimes yearning for it. Full stop. But while he's being intimidated and controlled by Sauron's totalitarian system, turning his back on the Dark Lord is not an easy choice to make.
It's important to mention also Ralph starts with this review saying, look, he doesn't like bashing indie games or small games, but sometimes when they're charging you $60, he's got to go for the jugular. And that's completely fair. Ralph's a shill though, okay? Unsubscribe from SkillUp.
It was. So,
this is the closing remarks.
Gollum. It's just a top-to-bottom disaster. I don't think anyone had high hopes for this, but I don't think anyone expected it to be this bad. I mean, this had some serious marketing push behind it, right? Like a slot at Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, which is really expensive to get. We've seen tons of trailers, hands-on with select press, the works. Like a full marketing push that would have cost millions of dollars, I'd say. That sort of hype brings with it expectations. If a publisher is willing to spend that big, it probably means the game is good, right? Same thing goes for that price point. Again, if it's a $20 game, you take the good with the bad. You understand that a budget title is often going to have its fair share of problems. A $40 game, that bar is raised. You're operating in that AA category. People expect some better production value, but they'll still forgive some gameplay shortcomings and technical issues so long as the core game is good. $60? Man, you better be ready to bring it because expectations at that price point are pretty high. And if you are going to charge $70 for what is essentially the complete version of this game, then you had better be ready for people to be really, really pissed off when they play something this unfinished.
Shall we review it? What do you reckon?
And this substandard. Those Precious Edition paywalled items alone are enough to make this feel like a real piss take, but when combined with just how bad the rest of this package is, the way this has been priced and marketed feels very deceptive and very exploitative. This is by far the worst game I've played this year, and I absolutely do not recommend it.
Oh, man. Love to see it. Love to see it. Well, you hate to see it, of course, because, you know, small teams, indie devs, or even just small teams in general, they're taking on big IP. You want them to do well. You know, you want the game to be good. I want to see as many Lord of the Rings games as possible, right? But this looks like a total disaster. It's a real shame because, okay, when we saw this, the trailers didn't look good, right? A few trailers I've shown on the show, actually, every time I'm just like, man, this doesn't look like it's it. And now the reviews are saying it's definitely not it. Now, this isn't the only review we're going to look at. Let's look at ACGs.
This is one of the first games I've ever played where the loading screen hint and story text was vastly more interesting than all the story and gameplay you see inside of the actual title. Naming for stealth gameplay experience, Gollum is headed to pretty much everything but the Switch and feels like an unfettered attempt to squeeze dry the last vestiges of emotional energy from a fan base that already looks like Bilbo that 1 second he tried to get the ring back from Gandalf.
I think that's so funny. That is a very good call from ACG. The one moment Bilbo tried to grab the ring.
When I do reviews, I buy a copy of every game, so I spend my money so you don't have to. For me to
Let's go to the end here. Let's just see his final thoughts. But I don't think he's loving it. That's for sure.
Starts to fall almost instantly apart. As you guys know, I rate games on a buy, wait for a sale, or deep sale, or never touch rating system. Gollum needed a great deal more time. As emaciated and scatterbrained as that title character, it shines at times, then it dives down to the darkest depths. And for anyone but the most diehard fan of Lord of the Rings who needs a game case to sit beside their Gandalf wooden codpiece, this is going to be a wait for a deep sale. Nothing about the game looks like it was a lack of skill or care. Maybe a little bit here and there. It looks, though, like a lack of time and release schedule. And sadly, patches of the technical issues are not going to fix the majority of the problems I had with Gollum. So anyway, I hope you guys like these reviews.
Oof. ACG, not a big fan also. That sounds like a 4 out of 10. What do you reckon? Someone says, yeah, Ralph's reviews are always ST. Why do you lie to the chat, man? It's like Ralph's reviews are like Redfall quality, okay? Let's not lie to people. Super chat, appreciate that, Mr. K. $1.99. Samuel, who produced the drop? You or Stock Sound? I got it from Epidemic Sound or something, and then someone, a fan of ours a couple of years ago, actually animated it. So it's kind of cool. if that fan is watching, which he probably isn't, we still appreciate you. Good man. Now, what I wanted to also look at was the closing remarks of IGN. Let's just see what they give it out of 10. Now, I want to know. Okay, let's play a little game. Unless you already know what the IGN score is. What do you think the score is for this game from IGN? Keep in mind, anything under 7, that's very rare. So it could be a 7, it could be a 10. You never know. There's not enough ring. All right, 5 out of 10. Let's see what it is. All right, let's play the game. We've got a few games today. This is the first game, demonetization game. We played that yesterday, and I lost yesterday on the demonetization game. We always love playing that game, but sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
His sad hoard of not-so-precious treasures.
Oxes build all their things with these, always nails.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum fails to provide a satisfying answer to the big whys. Why, of all the interesting characters in the Lord of the Rings lore, would anyone want to play an entire game as Gollum? Why would one trade the solid action of prior games in this universe, like Shadow of Mordor, for busy work, uninspired and frustrating platforming, and bad stealth? It's not clear who this is for or what it was intended to achieve. What is clear is that it's not fun to play, and not something to recommend to any but the most curious and dedicated Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh, 4 out of 10.
For more fantasy action, check out...
Jesus Christ, that's a very rare, very, very rare for IGN to give anything under a 7. To give it a 4? Oh my God, what did Redfall get for IGN? I actually can't remember now. Jamie, pull that up. I don't actually know. But man, 4 out of 10. Not looking good, folks. Not looking good. And this is around the time that Amazon has come out and said that they want to do another try at the next MMO for Lord of the Rings. So this being the first kind of Lord of the Rings game we've seen in some time, it is disappointing. We are expected to see another 3 single player or some sort of, I think it's single player or some of them are multiplayer experiences in the next 18 months. This is the first one to come out, and let me tell you, it's not reviewing well. I am a hardcore fan of Lord of the Rings. I haven't read the books. I read The Hobbit. Okay, so I'm a hardcore reader. But the movies themselves, Peter Jackson, especially the actual trilogy outside The Hobbit, is incredible. For them to try and justify that vision into a game, we've seen it before. I would love to see them do it again, in some capacity. But for this one to be the first one that's kind of first cab off the rank in a while, not good. Not good, folks. Real shame. But if somebody's going to review bad, we got to put it in the show. Come on now, we got to put it in the show. You know we do. Dear. And in other news, Lord of the Rings Gollum launches this Thursday, a couple of days ago, but the entire game has been leaked online ahead of the release. Maybe it was the developers going, you know what, we can't charge people for this. Fuck that. Take it for free. We'll pay you to play it. Very sad. Yeah, but that got released. The whole thing got released, so I'm guessing some people pirated it. Maybe there should be a new segment. Wait for sale or never touch, or pirate. This is firmly in the pirate section, I think. I think this is in the firmly pirate. No, we don't condone pirating. Wait for sale, guys. Okay, wait for sale. Square Enix says that platforms that don't make a satisfactory offer will not get their major games. With this statement, they are indirectly blaming Xbox for Final Fantasy 16 skipping Xbox. That's interesting. That is interesting. In a time where Xbox does need to justify itself more and more as every day goes on, it does feel like something like Final Fantasy 16 would have been great. They're willing to pay $69.8 billion for Activision Blizzard King. It also makes sense to throw a couple of, maybe a couple $100 million or whatever it's going to be. Not a couple $100 million, but something significant to bring Final Fantasy 16 to the table of Xbox and put it into the Xbox ecosystem. Definitely a fan of the previous Final Fantasies. As I've said before, I'm very excited to see what this one's going to be like. But to see this headline, of course, this is kind of like, they're not 100% confirming that it's Xbox, but they're kind of confirming it's Xbox. But this is definitely the time where Xbox doesn't have the luxury of playing hardball with major AAA titles that are third party. I think that, any price they need to pay, they need to freaking pay it. If they've got so much money for acquisitions, surely they have a little bit of money to make sure that Square Enix's games, especially Final Fantasy 16, can exist on their platform. Very sad. Very sad to see that indeed. In other news now, we're not going to cover this as much as we did before, but just little bits and pieces. Microsoft has confirmed it's filed its appeal against the UK Commission and Markets Authority, CMA. So it's actually happening. They are officially now going to be appealing the deal. China recently came on board, Japan beforehand, and of course the the EU also came back and said that they're all fine for the deal. So most jurisdictions have come back and said, hey, we're cool with the deal. We're cool with the deal. As I said before, I think this is going to be taking at least 6 to 12 to 18 months. It's not going to be short, folks. It's going to be a while. And that's okay. Like, there's more news for us, right? More things to put on a thumbnail. That's what it's really all about. YouTubers, how the sausage is made. Drama, bad reviews, equal people watch. Cynical. In an interview, a member of the EU Commission has indirectly criticized the CMA and the FTC for protecting Sony PlayStation in the Activision Blizzard case, saying the purpose of competition law is not to provide protection to inefficient competitors. Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired indeed. Well, as we know, Jim Ryan did come out and say, Sony will never recover. Will never recover if Activision was bought by Xbox. Xbox did offer 10 years for the Call of Duty and Activision Blizzard King games across the board. And it makes sense for for Sony to try and stop the deal, right? Because companies are going to naturally want to try and compete as much as possible. And this does give Xbox a leg up in the biggest competitive multiplayer shooter that we know, Call of Duty. Simple as that. Apart from Fortnite, fine. But in terms of consoles, Call of Duty is still a huge footprint. Huge footprint. So it definitely does make sense for them to continue to try and push the deal away. And Jim Ryan's getting as dramatic as possible. Guys, we need the deal to not happen. Otherwise, PlayStation's not going to work. But that PlayStation handheld that no one's going to buy. We desperately need the Call of Duty merger to not go through. We desperately need it. The thing is, right, if it does go through, as I've said before, they'll be fine. Okay, they've got plenty of AAA, very high quality first party exclusives. They are leading the charge in terms of console sales. The ecosystem of gaming is heavily geared towards PlayStation in so many ways. I don't think that if Xbox does buy Activision Blizzard King, we're going to see Sony just fall off a cliff. I just don't see that. Now, we have seen how Xbox has recently handled Redfall. So there are people out there that are very worried to see what they're going to do with Call of Duty, Activision, and Blizzard games in general. But, who knows? We'll have to wait to see. But I'm just interested to see how this unfolds, as we all are. But it'd be interesting to see what the quality would be like going forward if Xbox did actually finalize this deal. Would they just step back and go, look, Blizzard, Activision, you do you. We just want to own you. We just want to own you. And they just let them do what they need to do? Or they're going to like step in and go, this isn't glitchy enough. It's not buggy enough. Yeah. Halo Infinite. We did Halo Infinite, all right? And we know how to make a game come back. All right? We know how to make a game feel like it was when we did Halo 2, all right? We're in charge. Who knows? Stu says, Starfield is their only hope. Look, some people do feel like that, and I have seen some headlines like that, right? I personally do feel like Starfield is going to be a major turning point for the average gamer that's kind of still waiting for some high-quality first-party AAA exclusives from Xbox, and they're going to be sitting there going, well, Starfield also got a 7. You know, I'm out, fam. But I don't fully agree with the idea that Xbox is finished after Starfield. I have said in the past that Phil Spencer, this is maybe his last chance to kind of in the ship. I also think that Xbox, if this doesn't land correctly, it further puts them back, right? And it also solidifies that whole idea that Xbox is not managing itself correctly and it's not managing its games and quality. And I think if Starfield does come out and is a bit lackluster, what else do we have to look forward to for Xbox in the foreseeable future? What, Elder Scrolls 6 in 2056? And God knows how long that game's going to take, right? Starfield is their next major thing that I can think of that people are very excited for. You know, with PlayStation, there's a hell of a lot more things like Death Stranding 2, God of War 3, who knows? Spider-Man 2, Metal Gear Solid Remaster. Actually, is that an exclusive? I know that the HD remake of all three aren't, but I don't know if the I would imagine so, right? That the remake of Snake Eater is actually going to be exclusive. We'll see. Stu says, oh yeah, I've already said your comments, Stu. I was about to say, Stu says, I hope Starfield is good. Yes, well. Good to see you again. But will Call of Duty be fine? Call of Duty will probably be fine. I don't anticipate that we'll see a drastic change in quality for Call of Duty if Xbox does purchase it. And I don't think the brand will change if Xbox owns it, right? It would take a long time, I think, for us to see some dramatic change in such a way that we would feel like Call of Duty was affected by Xbox. It wouldn't be the first year. It would take longer than that. It would take 3 or 4 years for people to be like, whoa, Call of Duty's really fallen off. You know, it's not as influential, it's not as good, and not as many people playing it, all that kind of stuff. It'll take time for that to happen. MGS3 is all platforms. Okay. Snake Eater is also on Xbox. There we go. Interesting that they show the, regardless of if it's on all platforms, it is good to have that announcement, that surprise announcement, even though we all knew it, on the PlayStation Showcase. And for anyone that just like kind of got here before, like, what do you guys think of the PlayStation Showcase? Like, as I said before, pretty lackluster, I thought. 10 minutes of Spider-Man, cool. Snake Eater, a lot of new IP, some other stuff that people surely will be excited about, but like, it didn't have like a, oh my god, this is incredible. Drinking game. Drink every time you felt genuinely surprised from an announcement. Everybody's sober. In other news, remember I covered this a couple of days ago? This is the registered price. The market, what's the S? Anyway, retail price. $189, man. This thing allows you to play your OG Xbox, right? But there's other ones that come out for $30, $189, man. For you to be able to play the original Xbox on all kinds of TVs. And when I originally covered this, I was like, this is kind of cool. Cool, like this is going to be great. People can, wipe off the dust and play OG Xbox games. But $189, Jesus Christ. You can probably buy like 4 Xbox originals for that price. Right? That's crazy. It doesn't make sense, I think, when there's other competitors clearly that maybe are around the $30 purchase price. Yes, this comes with more features, with LAN features and all that kind of stuff, and this is going to be a more comprehensive product. But got to look at the competition. So I wanted to put that back in because we did cover this a few days ago, and just warn you, like Gollum, overpriced, okay, for not a lot offering, okay, not a lot offering. In other news, very important video. I don't think I covered this ages ago. I want to do this again. What in the world were people thinking? Look at this shit. You know that expression, let's not reinvent the wheel? Literally, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's like, oh, honey, I'm going to work. Oh, traffic's good today. Look at this ridiculous thing. He's pretty smooth, though. I mean, he still looks a bit janky in his riding. But we don't need this. We don't need this. Okay? Very important to put this in because it's important you know that there's change. There's a change coming. Okay? Change is afoot. And it's not good. Alright? I'm a fearmonger here. Look at this. Alright? Is this what you want for your children? Really? Look at this. A country is going to be destroyed because they're making this weird wheel thing. Don't let it happen. Alright? Protest today. In other news, which is quite interesting, Donald Trump made an AI Trump, made an orange juice commercial. And why do we watch it? Because it's fun.
Take a sip of our freshly squeezed orange juice and let the juicy, sweet liquid run down your throat. The right way to start your day. Perfect for a quick beverage or a family reunion. Your mother definitely
Whoa, what is up with that face?
Embarrassment anymore.
Not her,
Each
she's lovely. I mean her mouth,
is hand squeezed by myself personally. Yummy. Orange juice. Make breakfast great again.
Make breakfast great again. Now, I don't know if you should,
Yummy.
radioactive orange juice, not a good idea.
Yummy.
Yeah, radioactive orange juice, not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend that. You know, it's glowing like some sort of video game thing. Like an Estus flask or some shit. We always love AI stuff in this. You know you do. You know you love it. Okay? You know you love your AI stuff. Mike says, why have they done that bike? Are circles racist now too? Were they cancelled? Guys, circles are cancelled. Okay? Okay? Now, it needs to be that shape to feel included. Okay? Absolutely. All right? Triangle bikes coming soon. And if you don't ride them, you're a bigot. All right? How dare you ride a normal bike? 2023. In other news in 2023, TikTok has filed a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court of Montana to challenge the state bill that banned the app. Now, Montana has recently banned the app entirely. Any platform that offers it is going to be $10,000 a day for each person that downloads it from the platform. The platform is liable for $10,000 or some shit like that. And that's a lot of money. Now, TikTok's going to file a lawsuit to try and fight it. I don't know if Montana's going to be able to uphold this, right? Because I think at the moment the data centers in the US have been sectioned off to exclusively exist in the US. But there's a lot of people that wonder if that data is still getting to China. China, is it still getting to China? Who knows? I do use the occasional TikTok. Okay, it's embarrassing, but I love it. Especially when the algorithm gets right. It just gives you that dark humor, the stuff that you could never show your grandma, you know? If anyone ever saw it, you're like, whoa, what's wrong with you? Whoa, that's not even funny. That's like messed up. And I'm like, yeah, it's great, isn't it? TikTok's great. And the thing is, if you don't use TikTok, Instagram just ends up getting those memes anyway. The best memes end up on Instagram. I, for one, if you have very dark humor, like disgusting humor, I tend to get along with you. In other news, Netflix standard plan will let you add one non-household member for $7.99 a month, and its premium plan will let you add two at the same rate per additional household. Man, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I am the parasite. I use someone else's Netflix. Netflix, you watching? Letting you know. I am the official parasite. You know, it's like Cindy is watching, or like Dale is watching, and then it's just like me, this little cockroach. And I am the parasite. I am the insect. Saying, have you paid your bill? I can't watch your Netflix right now. What the hell's happened? Step your game up. Not letting me just suck the life out of you. Real shame. Very disappointed. This is all happening now. They announced this months ago, but now it's seemingly happening, which is a shame. Shame for people like me that don't want to pay. One day I will pay it forward, and I will become the daddy, and I will let someone be the parasite. But what I thought was a bit of shade was from Prime Video UK. Who's watching? Anyone who has our password. Love heart. And this is from Netflix in 2017 saying love is sharing a password. Well, is it Netflix? You lying to us? I think Netflix is one of those circle bike riders. Don't trust them. Okay. Don't trust them at all. But I'm surprised that they haven't taken this tweet down. It's staying, but people continuously like to retweet it and kind of give Netflix shit for it. But Prime is clearly making a stance here that they're not going to do any sort of password protection thing or anti-password sharing thing. Another thing that I use is actually Prime Video. Disney. I've paid for Disney before when I wanted to watch The Mandalorian and stuff. But Prime Video is another one. Love you, Prime. And seemingly Prime is fine with it, right? Prime doesn't care. Prime's my dude. They don't care. Netflix does, apparently. Netflix's stock price has not gone well over the last 2 years or 3 years or so, if I remember correctly. And their earnings is down for the first time in a long time. That was months ago that I saw that headline. But they're seemingly needing to do some desperate measures. And desperate measures, I mean, just stop people from, like, stealing from them. Like I do. Mr. K, again, thank you so much for $4.99. No, it's not $5.99. It's $4.99. Sorry. Thoughts on the PlayStation buying CD Projekt Red? Good idea or no? To be honest, they could do with a good WRPG. What is W again? Studio? no, that's not Western RPG, no. Since Microsoft got Bethesda, or should they get Capcom, in your opinion? Look, PlayStation is definitely looking to up the ante in how much money that they want to have at the ready for any sort of acquisition. We've known for a while that Ubisoft wants to be purchased. We know that. Do I see a future where CD Projekt Red is purchased? I think that if they continue to put out quality that people feel is subpar of The Witcher 3 days, and they feel like it's better to snuggle up to a bigger corporation, potentially. Quality is not going to be the only thing, of course. It's a factor of things. It's a number of things that are going to influence that decision. I don't know if CD Projekt Red and PlayStation are the best fit. I feel like Capcom is definitely probably a better fit. I feel like some of those games do very well naturally in Japan and across the world, right? But it feels like Capcom and PlayStation feel like they would have a bit more DNA in common in the way that they make games, the markets that they originate from. Street Fighter exclusive, that would be kind of interesting, right? Among other titles too. But I don't know if we see those if anything, I'd be very surprised if Ubisoft remains an independent company in the next 5 years. Because as I've said, I mean, it's quite clear that they're looking to be purchased, or there's something to that in terms of they definitely want to be purchased. They definitely want to feel like they got a big check coming through. Absolutely. That was a good choice, Lupus says. I want Capcom over Square Enix. Well, Square Enix, that's a perfect example. Square Enix feels very snuggled up to PlayStation. There's a lot of exclusives, a lot of games that come to PlayStation first for Square Enix. I feel like they have a very solid partnership. They work together all the time. And Square Enix has clearly made its choice who it would prefer to work with, and that is PlayStation. Not Xbox. Not Xbox. Speaking of segue, I don't know. Persona 5 rumored for late 2024 launch and PS5 time exclusive. You know what? There was actually a bit of a segue there. God, I forgot the end of the title there. That'd be kind of cool. Persona 5. I didn't actually finish Persona 5. I played a bit of it, right? But one thing I did is, oh my God, I listened to the Persona 5 soundtrack so much. I loved that soundtrack. It's just incredible. I mean, it kind of had reminiscent vibes of like, not Cowboy Bebop, but something to that effect for me. I don't know. Cowboy Bebop is definitely, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they're kind of like the three that I just absolutely love listening to. I mean, we all have a video game soundtrack that we kind of go back to and listen to ever so often. But it's definitely Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for me. Persona. Absolutely. Cowboy Bebop, which isn't a game, right? But just that kind of vibe that it brings. Skyrim. I used to listen to a bit of Skyrim when I'd like be working and stuff. You know, like just like walking through the fields and stuff. We had beautiful music. Love that. But Persona 5 rumored for late 2024 launch, so keep you posted. But that sounds like if they're going to do another PS showcase next year, that will be definitely shown in the Sony showcase, not in the Xbox showcase. That's for sure. Now, I've got a trailer coming up for you folks, okay? Before we get there, Jim Ryan says it's a little early to judge PSVR 2's popularity following sales slumps report. After the launch of the PSVR 2 earlier this year, it was largely suggested that the pre-orders and early sales missed expectations. Now, ultimately, I agree with what Jim Ryan is saying here. This is early tech. This is only like 8 years old in terms of the whole VR experience, or even less, right? It's very hard, I think, for us to really figure out where the VR gaming experience will sit in this whole kind of landscape of gaming, right? There's plenty of genres and there's plenty of ways to experience gaming. VR is definitely the future of a lot of gaming genres. There's going to be things that we haven't even realized yet are going to work perfectly on VR, and we're going to see that in the coming years. So I'm hopeful for that. The only game I've really finished, as I've said before, is Half-Life Alyx, and I thought that was incredible. Incredible to have that experience, and I loved it. I actually loved it a lot. It was great. Too early to judge. Sounds like loser talk, Irvin says. Well, look, a little bit of loser talk. I will agree with you there. Maybe there's a bit of a hint of loser talk there. But look, I'm hopeful to see what they do, and maybe the PSVR 3, whenever that is in the coming years, there'll be a bit more of a... It will start to become a bit more of a mature market, you know? But we don't know yet. It's going to be early days. Stu says, Spider-Man 2 on the monkey bars at the gym. I think I missed the previous comment of what you're connecting there, but sure. Someone said, Netflix actually did Cowboy Bebop. Yes, I didn't even watch the show because I saw how badly it was reviewed. It got one season, and it was taken down pretty much, well, not taken down, the first season's there, but any plans for a future season 2 were taken away immediately. It's very hard, I think, to capture the energy of Cowboy Bebop. There's something about, maybe it's also the art style, the music, the way that the story was originally told. Also, kind of trying to cast Spike. That's hard. You know, it's very hard to do that. And Faye Valentine, like, it's not easy to do that, you know. So I think, you know, any future stuff that we see from anime to real life, they have to look at Cowboy Bebop and say, okay, that's not how we do it. However we do it, we don't do it that way. That's for sure. Okay, you can stop faking that accent now. Yeah, I'm actually American. Yeah, hey guys, welcome back to the Laymen Daily Show. Who's ready? Imagine if I was lying the whole time. Maybe it's Russian. Welcome back to the Laymen Gaming Show. But that was alright. That wasn't too bad. In other news, Diablo 4 official live action launch trailer. Let's have a look at this.
Whatever you can do, we beg you.
Will you save us?
Will you make them suffer?
Can your shadow be our light?
Strange. Definitely strange.
Will you fight the darkness?
Please end the terror.
That's a good cosplay. I mean, it's kind of strange to do that, but I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool. It wouldn't be my initial choice of how to continue to promote Diablo 4. Shib says, can you do a cowboy accent? Well, turning somewhere in the world. It's pretty much my McCree accent. That's about it, really. What else have I got here? Hey Layman, want to queue up in Diablo 4? Let's do it, my friend. Let's do it. You got an early copy now? I'll do it with you right now, my friend. Mrs. Diablo. Lilith. Lilith looks like a really cool character, actually. I'm actually quite excited to see what she's going to be like. I think from what I saw from the beta, I thought she was a very good villain. I think the cinematic kind of storytelling that they showed, it actually was kind of cool. But someone says that it looks like a fan flick. It kind of does. It looks like a B grade. Someone's tried to make a kind of short film about Diablo or something. You know, it doesn't look high quality. I'm going to be honest. That's a good point. Definitely does look a bit weird. I would have just liked to see more gameplay or another like a really cool cinematic or something. I don't know. Something like that, you know. In other news, first Xbox titles for GeForce Now announced following 10-year deal pledge. Now, as you guys probably know, Xbox and GeForce Now have done a 10-year deal together, and this is all in light of trying to, you know, make that whole deal with Activision Blizzard King go forward, and Xbox showing, hey, we want to spread the games, we want to share the load. First games that are coming out is going to be Gears 5, and then following that on the 25th of May, which is yesterday. Which is, or for you, I think it's even the 27th right now, right? No, I'm ahead of you guys. I'm in the future. That's right. So today in the US, On May 25th, Deathloop Grounded and Pentiment will also be added to the service. You can expect those games. This is all Xbox just trying to, look, we're good on our word. We're going to spread the games until the 10 years are up. And then they take all the games and put it on their next console with the 40 people playing on the new Xbox Series X Super Duper XL. Anything to try and get the deal over the line, clearly. But look, it is part of their strategy, right? It is part of their strategy. And I think Xbox is, what they're doing is, as I've said before, and as Phil has mentioned, is they're kind of bowing out of the console war. Now, he hasn't officially said that, but definitely in so many words, it feels like they're stepping away from the console war and they want to spread their games as far and wide as possible on as many ecosystems so you can play as many Xbox games as possible on any platform you like, from cloud, from Game Pass, from PC to Xbox to other streaming services, right? And that may be, in the long run, a really good way for Xbox to compete, right? And make good quality games like Redfall. In other news, this is very important, right? Now, do you guys remember drawing this in school? Was I the only loser that did this? Well, I did this. The Holy Grail of art in school. There it is. Do you remember being like, how do you do that? And someone's like, here, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, and you put it all together. I'm like, holy shit. There it is, folks. The Holy Grail. Very important to put that in. Because it's important to understand art. This isn't just a video game show. Sometimes you can show video games and art at the same time. I'm here to educate you folks. Okay. Is this guy even reading chat? Snipe says, no, I'm not. Nah. Whenever you say something, I don't respond. No, I try and reach out, but it's hard, I'm trying to get the show moving forward, tell you different stories, give you my 2 cents, which is usually wrong, show you a few trailers or two, and dunk on Gollum. It's hard to always follow the chat. It is. My name is Stu, so yes, I did. Yes, I did. Oh, okay. Of course, so the S. Well, my name's Sam, so dude, of course, I always try to write that like that, No, I'm only kidding with you, Snipe. I'm only giving you some crap, my friend. Love you, brother. Sam, some of us were smart enough to figure it out. I wasn't. Okay, I wasn't smart enough to figure this out. I found it too difficult. I'm like, how are they doing that? Holy God. It's like when I went to the Sistine Chapel. I'm like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, this looks pretty fucking easy, to be honest. Yep. Never forget when I went to the Sistine Chapel. They had this big sign saying, no photos. I'm like, okay, all right. No photos. This is a sacred area. I'm like, fuck, whatever. I walk in, some guy's taking photos. And then this woman comes over. That's not part of the staff. She's just there. And she's like, how dare you take photos? They told you this is a sacred area and there's no photos in here. And he's like, fuck, okay. We walk out and they're selling the photos. Vatican is selling the photos to us. Makes you think. Makes you think, ladies and gentlemen. All right. In other news, Spider-Man, but with a gun. Very important to show you this too. It's also art.
My fist breaking your teeth, that's the accident.
I don't want to fight you, Flash.
I wouldn't want to fight you neither.
Jesus, Parker, you are a freak.
These are the years when a man changes into the man he's going to become the rest of his life. Just be careful who you change into.
Are you afraid that I'm going to turn into some kind of criminal? Don't worry about me, okay? Something's different. I'll figure it out. Stop lecturing me, please.
Vatican got that merch grind, yeah.
Right.
Now get out of here.
Thanks.
Hey, what the hell?
Put the money in the bag.
Go! Go!
What about my generous proposal? Are you in or are you out?
It's you who's out, Gobby.
Out of my territory.
Wrong answer.
Oh, great.
No one says no to me. This is why only fools are heroes. Because you never know when some lunatic will come along with the sadistic choice. We are who we choose to be.
Good times. Spider-Man, I think, still one of the best superhero movies ever made. It needed to be that good to propel, as well as X-Men did, as well as Iron Man, to propel us into this whole, 25 years of Marvel superhero crap, right? Look, I don't mind it. I'm a little bit marveled out. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Harry Potter with guns is also hilarious. I have watched that before, but you know what? I might watch that in the next show we do. Absolutely. Good times. Good times. Introducing Backbone 1 PlayStation Edition, an officially licensed mobile controller for Android users, launching today. Isn't this interesting? This is the same day or the day before that they showed this, before they did the PlayStation Showcase, and they did Project Q. Can we just talk about Project Q for a second? Firstly, the timing of this is very funny. That they show another Backbone, further showing that you don't need the Project Q. But Project Q needs a Wi-Fi connection. It has no power in it. It's just a screen with a controller. What else is what else is a screen with a controller attached? My smartphone. I don't see how this is going to sell in the masses. I just don't see it, right? I see it if it is really well priced. Like 150 US. Something like that. Maybe it has a chance. It has no power in it. You have to be sitting in a Wi-Fi connected area the whole time. It's not able to be truly portable. And if I want to have this experience, most people have a smartphone now, right? Most people do. I don't see the future of the Project Q or whatever it is. I could be completely wrong. There's some people that are going to be very excited for this, right? But they may get it, and after a week or two, they're like, you know what? There's not much to fucking do with this thing. See you later. That's a possibility. Definitely a possibility, Is it $500? I don't know what it is. Project Q is actually useless. You can remote play with a Steam Deck. Get that instead. Very true. There we go. Actually, I didn't know you could remote play. That's interesting. I did not know that. Okay. PS Backbone will be perfect for my PS2 emulator on my phone, lol. Yeah, I mean, like, be different if we didn't have that same capability on our phone already. But they've already made the infrastructure for it. Like it's all there. The apps are there. The phone Backbone stuff is there. It's all good to go. We don't need this thing. So, and look, streaming, as in the bathroom at work says, streaming is always meh. Well, it's sometimes really good, but yeah, there are sometimes glitches in that connection and stuff. But I just don't see a future where this is going to be good. I just don't see a future where the Project Q is going to be successful. What do I know? Nothing. In other news, Sony is aiming at least 2 big PS5 exclusives each year across every major genre, like Xbox is. Do you see the big AAAs they did last year? Let me just count them. What's before 1? 0, that's right. Now, they did do Grounded, but apart from that, we didn't see a lot of exclusives from Xbox. But of course, we see a decent amount of exclusives from Sony each year. So, although that sounds like a very ambitious goal, maybe Sony can do it. Even if it's like 5 or 6 across the board, 5 or 6 exclusives, or 7, or something like that. That's still a sizable year. A couple a quarter is still good. That allows the hype train of PlayStation and all the games to continue to be hypey, for lack of a better word. And before we finish with today, I'll do this story first. Quick story, huge rumor, Final Fantasy IX remake. I touched on this the other day, but apparently there's going to be a Final Fantasy IX remake. I'd much prefer Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII feels like the better remake to do because it just makes more sense, right? More people played Final Fantasy VIII first, and it got them into the genre and into the experience of Final Fantasy. That's what I want to see. But if they do a Final Fantasy IX remake, sure, cool, I'll play it. But it won't be my first choice. And Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake is starting over from scratch. Now, I am a big supporter of anything that any developer that comes out and says, you know what, this ain't it, chief. We need to start from the beginning. We need to figure out what the best way to move forward is, and they've done this here. Same with Metroid 4. If you guys remember, Metroid 4 was being made from another developer, then it got returned to the original developer of Metroid Prime. So that makes sense, I think, in terms of when you're not sure it's going to be an absolute banger, just take the foot off the accelerator, step back, and see if you need to go back to the drawing board from the ground up. It's much better to have a game... What's that from Miyamoto or whatever? You know, it's much better to have a game delayed and that is good than release a bad game than it's bad forever or something like that. Very good with quotes, clearly. In other news... Now, we won't do... Okay, this is just a piece of commercial. I might show that tomorrow. What I want to show you... Okay, today. Do you guys remember last time we were watching the show? We did a little game, all right? It's a video game quiz, and the quiz only shows you the HUD, all right? Only shows you the HUD. You got to guess the game from the HUD. You got to figure out what game that is. Now, I got 7 out of 10 last time, didn't get them all right, and I haven't watched this. I don't know what these questions are going to be. I will probably get these all wrong. Let's see, folks, who's ready for the game. Okay, this is to show you what it is, yeah, and then it shows you the answer. It is Dark Souls 2. I got that wrong. I thought it was Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls. All right, who's ready? Okay. Let me move the timer away. Oh, man, this is too easy. Come on. Is it 1 or 2, though? The music makes it easy, hey. Last of Us 1. Last of Us 1? Oh my god! That's bullshit, man. What? Okay. I'm gonna say Apex Legends. Apex Legends. Yeah! Hardcore gamer, guys. That's what you come here for. Name the game. Oh, Advance Wars? No. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. What is it? Oh, The Sims 4. I don't play The Sims. I'm too cool. I haven't played The Sims. Alright. What the fuck is that? Oh! Okay. Yeah. I got it. I got it. Dead Space, Dead Space, Dead Space. Yeah. Redfall, Redfall. Knack 2. I actually don't know what this is. This feels like it may be not Knights of the Old Republic, but like something like that. Mass Effect! I was so close! Yes! Yes, I was trying to think. Oh. Alright, Pokemon. Pokemon Stadium, guys. Pokemon Stadium for sure. Doom. Is Doom Eternal or Doom? I'm gonna go Doom. Yeah! Alright. Name the game. Oh, don't know what this is. I'm gonna go Half-Life. No, I've got no idea. Half-Life? Fuck, man. No idea. Ah! Okay, I'm so wrong. How many have I got right? Like 5, I think? 5 or something? Name the game. Oh, I've got no idea. Shit. Devil May Cry? Lol? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Oh god, I'm so smart. Yes. Man. Ninja Gaiden? I'm gonna say Ninja Gaiden. I got no idea. Come on, Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden! No! I should have said no! Mortal Kombat! No! Fallout, right? Fallout? That's Fallout, right? Fallout. Yeah. Oh my god. No, of course. Fallout is the one with the green. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. So stupid. All right, now we got another 10 to do. We will do that next time. This is... No, we're not going to show that today. We're not going to show that. Oh, I feel like I know what it's... Oh, I can't wait for the next one now. Okay. Guys, how many people got it right, got it wrong? I think I got 7 out of 10 again. I think I got 7 out of 10. Because I'm a hardcore gamer. I got an IGN 7 out of 10 today. I love this game. I love this game. This is so much fun. So much fun. We got another 10 next time. 7 out of 10. If you got anything less than 7 out of 10, please leave the chat. You're not a hardcore gamer. You're not really able to stick with us. Okay, you can't keep up with the pack. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I love you, appreciate you. That was a great show. Okay, we got to rip on Gollum, which is not what we always want to do. But when a review is bad, when a review score is bad, we got to cover it. News, reviews, Diablo trailer, and the quiz game. How much fun! Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys next time. Everyone for tuning in and the super chats. Thank you so much for the super chats. I always really appreciate that. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are. Laymen out.